As part of the government's comprehensive plan to rebuild St. Vincent and the Grenadines post-Hurricane Beryl, additional prime grants will be given out to young people from the hurricane-affected Grenadine Islands. This as the government seeks to support affected young people and their businesses, as well as those who wish to start a business. The announcement was made by Minister of Finance Camilo Gonzalez during his presentation of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill, which was tabled in Parliament last Thursday. While the National Prime Grants Program will continue, the Finance Minister said that they have topped up the grants in the supplementary budget specifically for the Grenadines.
To say that the Prime only exists this year for the Grenadines, but the top-up that's in this supplementary is focused on people in the Grenadines. Maybe you had a little small shop. You need to get back on your feet. Maybe you need some stock because your stock washed away in your little bar or something like that. That top-up is for the Grenadines. But remember, the Prime program already exists. So the people can get Prime all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But the additional money is in there as a sort of, in the COVID pandemic, we had something called Prime Plus, which was for people older than prime age. This one now is like a Prime Grenadines.
$1 million will also go towards the Social Development Fund managed by the Prime Minister's office. And with regards to schooling for students in the Grenadines, the government plans to retrofit 2 buildings on mainland St. Vincent. Retrofitting will be done at a cost of $2.5 million to the former Teachers College and the Richmond Gabriel Medical School. The Finance Minister said expansion work and retrofitting will commence soon.
They've figured out ways to separate as much as you can in one space the secondary schools from the primary schools, and to separate Mary Hutchinson from Stephanie Brown, so that children, and I hope that we'll have a conversation about the psychosocial impacts on children who are terrified by the storm, who've lost their homes, who may be displaced now, going to school in a strange place, that we do our best to give them some semblance of comfort and normalcy. So the idea is not to bring up this budget to retrofit the existing Teachers College and to add, because we'll have to add some classrooms, in the same style of structure as we have on the tarmac for the temporary GHS and Thomas Saunders.
The Finance Minister also announced that $3 million has been budgeted for payments for guest houses that will house students and at least one parent on mainland St. Vincent.
Student is going to come up, mommy or daddy, or mommy and daddy are going to come up with those children, and we have to house them. We have to house them for the duration of the time that they can't be in Union Island. I want to be very clear. It is not possible to rebuild Stephanie Brown or Mary Hutchinson or Union Island Secondary to make it fit for children between now and September. It's not possible. And those buildings are being used in the emergency sense to house materials, to house labor, and to house equipment, because there are not many large buildings on Union Island that can do that sort of duty. You can't say back to online if you don't have current and you don't have internet. So you can't tell a Union Island child online school when they still don't have electricity. They don't have house. And they certainly don't have internet. So you can't do online schooling.
During the recent parliamentary sit-in, member of West Kingstown, representative for the New Democratic Party, Daniel Cummins, highlighted the issue of delay in electricity on mainland St. Vincent. He is of the view that electricity could have been restored earlier, which would have resulted in less spoilage. Cummins also believed that additional manpower from neighboring countries could have been utilized.
If there was additional support from the regional utilities en masse to resolve the problems required for bringing back, because it was by and large Vinlec's on power on the mainland. I'm talking principally here on the mainland, sorry. By and large, Vinlec's power on the mainland was intact, and the limiting factor was the transmission and distribution mains. So additional manpower in the early period would have certainly helped. I don't know what are the reasons why they didn't. I have absolute respect for the management of VINLEC.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves will hold consultations with persons from Union Island who were impacted by the passage of Hurricane Beryl, those in private homes and shelters. The first consultation takes place on Wednesday, July 24th, 2024 at the Methodist Church Hall from 3 p.m. On Thursday, July 25th, another consultation will be held in Clifton, Union Island at 1 p.m. The consultations will address issues including the government's response to the disaster, relief, recovery, reconstruction, and the scheduled reopening of schools in September. Director of Public Prosecution Sigilla McDowell has lauded the cooperation of partners including the media and citizens that led to the capture of convict Ronaldo Samuel, who sought to evade lawful punishment after his hearing at the High Court in absentia on the 16th of July 2024. In a statement, the DPP stated that the prisoner is also now the first person convicted at the High Court of the following offences pursuant to the Cybercrime Act No. 20 of 2016, cyberbullying and harassment by electronic communication. The prisoner, among other things, used the popular communication platform to attempt to blackmail the child victim into achieving his perverse desires. The Cybercrime Act was enacted by Parliament to protect persons from the real harm that can be caused by actions launched in the cyber world which ripple into real life. The DPP said her office remains committed to prosecuting all crimes, in this instance sexual offences against children and cybercrimes. The DPP also sounded the caution for parents, guardians and custodians to adequately monitor the online activities of children in their care as a buffer against the web of predators. The DPP is also urging all to exercise their civic responsibility to report knowledge or suspicions of the predatory abuse of children to the Sexual Offences Unit of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force at 453-4599. President of the SVG Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, says they have written to the Public Service Union to have teacher Adriana King receive full benefits as a graduate teacher. This as King, a teacher at a secondary school, has been receiving half pay for more than a year since being summoned to court for more than a year. During an interview with SVG-TV News, Robinson said that it continues to be a worry for the SVGTU and he would like to see fruitful results.
We wrote again to the Service Commission and we asked for her reinstatement and all the benefits, because when you are successful in a court of law, all the benefits, accrued benefits, you're supposed to get them back in a lump sum, right? And then they are sustained. The Service Commission is writing back to us to tell us that they rate the waiting on the relevant authority. I don't know who is the relevant authority. You are the relevant authority and you have to execute that responsibility. Don't do the same thing like the vaccine mandate when the cabinet of the country took over some of your responsibility. You surrendered your responsibility to the Service Commission.
Robinson also pointed out the union's intent to support King, lamenting the collective agreement signed between the government and the union was violated.
We would be coming to Adriana assistance in some way, some form. Intangible forms also should be appearing on our program. And our collective agreement was violated by the government. Article 3.2, it says that the employer shall not penalize an employee who is involved in legitimate activities organized by the union. The two unions, the Public Service Union and the Teachers Union, we call for protest. And Adriana is our member. She's an employee of the state, and the state is penalizing her for protesting.
King recently won her court case against the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, the government says they plan to appeal the results. In an exciting venture aimed at earning their communication badges, a local scout group as well as the Black Man and Gollop Scout group from Barbados are touring St. Vincent and the Grenadines. One of the many tours today was of the SVG Broadcasting Corporation. The group of 26 enthusiastic young scouts, accompanied by their leaders, had an insight of the operations of the television company at Dorchester Hill. Speaking with SVG-TV News, Assistant Cub Scout leader Alicia Alsgran said the Scouts trip is to provide an exchange in culture and learning new places of different countries. Arts Grant says that the Scouts are excited about television production, which could impact their Scouts' lives.
Communication is one of the badges that they're doing. It's in different stages. So learning about different forms of communication, television, radio, and stuff is important. Also the not so traditional ways of it. So we thought it would have been good to bring them here to experience that. They were especially excited and pleased about the television production aspect of it, especially the green screen area. And some of them were excited about the radio, you know, talking to your audience and playing their favorite music. And I think one or two of the boys said they wanted to be DJs or something like that. Yeah. We don't let children explore outside of home, like where they grow up and where they live. And by doing this at such a young age, they have a better appreciation for other countries and stuff like that. So I think it's a good thing. St. Vincent reminds me a lot of home in certain ways. The only thing is there are a lot of hills. Not hills. But apart from that, it's been a great experience.
Meanwhile, the Scouts Association of SVG Cub Scout Commissioner Shosita Maki stated that the program provides the local and regional Cubs with new experiences.
Our program is like building bridge together. So this is where our Cubs from different schools come together. We have our camp, they learn about each other and they help out, and we do things so that they can earn their badges and so on and meet with friends. So learning about these technology and the different communication paths, the departments, so they can understand the process of the news and being on the radio station, what it is like, so they would be able to gain an understanding of what it is all about. It's a good field, but I would not trade my job for that. I love my job, and that's teaching. Well, I think it's the production part where you go and you sit and you would read the news and so on. That's the favorite part. That's my favorite part.
Students from SVG and the Barbados Blackman Gallup Scout Group expressed their gratitude as well as favorite moments from their tour of SVG Broadcasting Corporation, including Magic 103.7 radio station.
Like the places I went were very interesting, and I liked how they do stuff in there. For the video, when the person is talking with the news, like they edit a background behind it. I like how they do that. Yes. Because they're very hard working. They know how to edit, and they know a lot of technology. How they make the music go on the radio and how they talk on the radio. It's fun and interesting. I learned a lot about how the radios work and how they broadcast news on the TV. A whole lot more. I thought this was going to be very easy. Seems harder.
The Cub Scouts summer program commenced on 17 July and will culminate on July 24th, 2024.